Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. Today, we are so blessed to have the wonderful Daniel Nahmod, not only as our guest musician, but also as our speaker. And he's going to be speaking on the topic with open arms. And so, we are not at our physical center, but we are coming to you from California in different areas. And we're so excited about that. Good morning, Daniel. I'm going to have you kick it off in just a minute. But first, I want to invite everybody to share this on Facebook, start a watch party. You can also share on YouTube if you like. We're broadcasting live on both. And if you're watching the stream later, hopefully you're enjoying this. I know you will. And we're going to have a lot of love, a lot of good music, and just heartfelt joy here today. So I'm going to let Daniel kick it off for us. Thanks, Daniel.
My pleasure. Hello, everybody. Let's start off with a little song that I wrote around 2002, 2003. Didn't give much thought to, and now, when I say now, I mean ordinarily when I'm traveling, I go all over the place and I find communities singing this song, which surprised me, obviously pleasantly. So maybe you know it, maybe you don't, but here's a simple little song to start for the morning. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Want to sing with me? I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, yeah. All right. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Woo! What a great way to start the day. Thank you, Daniel. Yes, my soul is welcome here, and we are in the right place at the right time. I know this to be the truth. I know you're in the right place at the right time. And together, we're just so blessed. So I would just like to welcome everybody to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living, where all that we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by changing your mind. This service has been designed especially for you. Welcome home. If you'll now take a moment to check in on Facebook, silence your cell phones, and say hello to those around you via chat. So we do have an opening affirmation that I will say now with you, and I will put it up on the screen. And so our affirmation. So please repeat after me. With open arms, I lovingly accept all the good that God has for me.
Open arms, I lovingly accept all the good that God has for me.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, I would just like to address that, as you can see, Reverend Elizabeth Raleigh Hogue is not with us this morning. And we are dedicating this service to her and her entire family as they ushered their beloved Don Raleigh, her father, to source. And so we are blessed to have had Don with us in physical presence in the past. The family's doing well. They send their love. And so let's all hold them in our arms during this service, knowing that the love that we are all having and sharing with each other, we share and send to them. So we love you, Reverend Elizabeth. We love you, Travis, and your mom, Linda, and Don Jr. You're all with us. So thank you. So let me introduce Daniel a little bit to you if you're not familiar. So I'm going to read Daniel's bio. Daniel is as authentic as they come. He speaks from the heart and shares practical tools, lessons, and wisdom that nourish the soul through storytelling and song. Orange County, California-based singer-songwriter, producer, and humanitarian, Daniel Nahmod has performed his profound, heart-opening original music for over 1 million people in 45 U.S. states and Canada since the beginning of his musical career. Daniel's poetic and evocative message of peace, love, and compassion across all nations, cultures, and faith has found overwhelming acceptance wherever he has performed. And we are so blessed to have you here. Daniel, I'm so excited to be able to introduce you today. And what was it that you said earlier? You're a free association thinker.
Oh, basically, I was saying I have a mess of a free associating mind, and it just it jumps all over jumps all over the place. In fact,
but in a beautiful way. So we're excited to have to see what how that unfolds here.
My wife is the organized one in the family. I'm not sure she feels that it's a beautiful free associating tendency I have. It drives her a little crazy. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But I enjoy it. But I'm not sure. Everybody else, it's up to you to decide.
All right,
thanks.
well, I'll let you get us started with another song, and we're excited to see what you got. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for the kind word. You know what? I was talking with Gina before the service about Elizabeth's father passing away, and I have a song to sing in honor of Don and Linda and Elizabeth and Travis and Don Jr. And of course, I didn't know Don Rowley. How could I have? But I was just talking to my boy Jude. Now we get into the free association, but it's relevant. I was just talking to my boy yesterday about the legacy of Alfred Nobel. You're familiar, I'm sure, with the Nobel prizes, especially the Nobel Peace Prize, and you may have heard the origin story of those prizes. But if you haven't, real briefly, Alfred Nobel was the inventor of dynamite and a hugely successful businessman. He had 9 factories building explosives at the peak of his financial empire and business empire. And then one day, his brother died. And the local newspaper had prepared an obituary, but mistakenly thought that Alfred himself had died and not his brother. And they published an obituary the next day. And the headline of the obituary was, loosely translated, I believe, the merchant of death is dead. Okay? So Alfred Nobel woke up in the morning and read his own obituary and saw that rather than be hailed as a capitalist giant and commerce king, he was instead going to be remembered as someone who had invented explosives that had laid waste to people and cities his entire life, that he had been the instigator of death and destruction. It was not how he had viewed himself. And he was devastated to read this obituary and resolved that his legacy was not going to be death and destruction, but instead peace and research and advancement of humanity. So he founded, with his fortune, the Nobel Prizes, which you may know are substantial amounts of money. Not a lot of prizes come with a lot of money. The Nobel Prize does. Over $1 million, I believe now, goes to each winner in various fields. And of course, the crown prince of the Nobel Prizes is the Peace Prize, and that was intended to be that way. That was how Alfred Nobel set about leaving behind a world better than he had found it. And it was that accidental obituary that opened his eyes and heart to the legacy that he was leaving and the legacy that he wanted to leave. And I think of that when I hear, I only know Elizabeth a little bit, but I have a sense of her, and I have a sense of her open-heartedness, which I'm going to talk about a little bit today, the notion of open-heartedness. But when I think of someone's child, after they're gone, the child is their legacy. The child is what you leave behind if you have a child. I think of Don Rowley, clearly loved by his kids, right? Because I've only gotten a quick summary of what Elizabeth has been going through and sharing with you the last few months. But it's just, to me, it's always worth noting the legacy we're leaving behind. While we're still alive, we're crafting that legacy. And it's not a thought of pressure. It's a thought almost really of pride. I am making a difference here. I have committed a secret act of kindness there. I give $1 here. I said a kind word there. That is our legacy. Children or not, that is our legacy. And about back on a life well lived, and applying a different standard than many would apply to the meaning of a life well lived. So I sing this song in honor of the Rowley family, and in honor of the legacy, I sincerely mean this, in honor of the legacy you are leaving, right where you are, with the good that you have done. It's a song from an album of mine called Water, and I'm going to take a sip of that right now. This is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal. It's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I am doing what I can. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and skies a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little bit taller 'cause of something that I said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on if I am out of time?
Wow, that was so beautiful, Daniel. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that the whole Raleigh family is feeling that. And I love that. I love that bit about legacy and what are we all leaving. So thank you for that. Okay, so I'm going to read our announcements. So good morning, CSL. That's right. I am now wearing the announcement angel hat. So bear with me here while I get some stuff up on the screen for us. And first of all, I am going to read our mission statement. So with everything we do, we aim to raise the vibe. We teach innovative spiritual practices and principles that inspire deeper love of self and others, transformation, a closer relationship with God, freedom from suffering, expansive joy, prosperity, and healing of the body, mind, and spirit. We're a conscious group of positive, inspired, spiritually motivated individuals transforming lives. We just happen to have a spiritual center. Want to check us out?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, and I got my audience of one behind me. I'm excited. Okay, so after the service today, please join us for coffee and conversation. And we are going to be able to have Daniel join us with that. So that's going to be great. Also, you'll be able to find the link. I'll put it in the comment section later. And you can also find it on our events page on Facebook. And then during the week, you can join us for a spiritual community connection call, which happens Wednesdays at 1 p.m. And you can also find the link on our Facebook page under events. We're no longer holding these on Mondays and Fridays, and we're open to the possibility of what is seeking to emerge in those time slots. Something wonderful will emerge for sure. Reverend Elizabeth is now available for spiritual coaching sessions by appointment only on Thursdays between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. You can contact Reverend Elizabeth at reverendelizabeth@ccccsl.org to book a session or get more details. So let's see. Next up, we have the wonderful Laura Berman for next Sunday. She will be with us. She's a very talented musician who's been with us before. We love Laura. And it is also Passover Sunday. So that should be great to hear some wonderful music from Laura for that. Our e-news, please subscribe to our e-news and keep up with all the amazing events happening with our center. You could go to our website at ccccsl.org. Choose e-news and follow the instructions there, or email us at info@ccccsl.org and we will get you added. And of course, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching there, please hit the subscribe button. You'll be notified of our live events and anything else we have coming up. And you can also, if you're watching on Facebook, please go over there. And our YouTube channel is youtube.com/Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living. Okay, next up, Amazon Smile. Did you know that Amazon donates 0.5% of your eligible Amazon Smile purchases to the charitable organization of your choice? So please consider adding CCCSL as your charitable organization. You can do so by going to our website and clicking on Contribute to a Higher Vision, and then scroll down to the middle of the page. Our center recently received over $200 through this easy giving opportunity, and it's such a great way for us to make passive income. Amazon is the one who foots all of the bill for that, so that's really wonderful. We also want to thank you and raise you and praise you for all of your support. You know, it's coming up on a year. I think it may even be a year today that we have been doing our live Facebook Live services, our virtual services. And it's been quite a journey this year. And we would not have been able to do it without all of you supporting us. The love donations that you've given to us has been incredible. And you can continue to donate at PayPal. There is a link provided for PayPal in the description. It's paypal.me/CCCSLLOVE, CCCSL Love. You can also use the donation button, or the giving button that they call it now, on Facebook to donate there. We also accept personal checks if you wanted to mail anything in. And you can also go to our website to ccccsl.org, and there is a donate button there as well. So I want to thank you for that. One more thing that I need to let everyone know, that we do have an annual meeting coming up. We'll be doing it via Zoom. It will be on March 29th at 6:30 p.m. So with that, those are the announcements. And now I would like to invite you to think of any prayer requests you might have. And so if you have anything weighing heavy on your heart, if you're looking to manifest something new in your life, or you just want prayer for higher vision or joy, we're here to receive that. And our prayer team will be praying over those prayers. And you can email your prayers to info@ccccsl.org. And with the whole prayer team, which consists of Reverend Elizabeth Raleigh Hogue, Reverend Diane Davison, spiritual practitioner Jeff Tucker, and Maria Bucaro, will all be praying over those prayer requests for you. And so now I would like to invite Charlie Carlin for our spiritual mind reading. So welcome, Charlie.
Thank you very much, Gina. Thank you. Today, let's talk about faith. Faith and truth. A spiritual mind treatment, or affirmation of truth, or prayer of faith, once made and completely accepted, is acted upon by the law of mind, and the effect or result is independent of the person who has made the prayer. In order to understand this idea more, let us take a simple act of a simple fact in nature. We bury an acorn in the ground and we walk away from it, knowing that someday it will become an oak tree. In the same way, our word is acted upon creatively by some kind of intelligent force or law which knows how to create the form the word implies. Every scientist follows the same method in dealing with the principles of nature. We have every reason to believe there is a creative law that acts upon our acceptance. This law is equipped with the know-how to do what we accept it is doing. It is the same law that has governed all layers and all prayers of faith throughout the ages and brought about the result that have always been looked upon as miracles. There are miracles in the sense that it is a miracle for an egg to hatch. Faith, affirmation, and acceptance are acted upon by some creative intelligence. Today, I have faith in my own affirmations. I know that there is a power flowing through me, taking the form of my belief, acting upon my acceptance, answering my prayer, and fulfilling my affirmation. Therefore, I am calling upon myself for a deeper faith, a broader conviction, a higher acceptance, and more complete realization. I affirm that every good thing I do will prosper. Every person I meet will be blessed. Every situation I touch will be helped. Everywhere I go, some of the subtle influence of love and joy and peace will diffuse itself as a glow from the eternal light of heaven itself. And so it is.
And so it is. Wow, Charlie, that reading was like a spiritual mind treatment in itself. Thank you so much for that. Oh, so as we just settle into that place where we connect with spirit, I just invite you to just take a deep breath in and just let out anything that is racing around in your mind, the monkey mind, the rat in the wheel, and just breathe out anything that doesn't serve you right now. And let's find that connection to our faith and to spirit. For we know that there truly is only one spirit, one creator, one universal life force that lives in all things seen and unseen. And as we experience the beginning of spring today, we open our arms and then embrace that which is changing and taking place right in front of our eyes. The blossoms in the trees that are coming to life, the birds that are nesting and getting ready to birth their young, all the little rabbits that are running around and the deer. Oh, it's just an amazing expression of the divine expressing through nature. And we know that we are one with this connection. As we open our arms, we open ourselves open to new possibilities. What is wanting to be birthed within us, as us, and through us. So I just know that this this service today is divinely guided. I know that everything that Daniel says is that divine, we find the divine nugget within his message, that which we need to hear that lifts us up and connects us deeper into our faith. We embrace the oneness that we feel in this live love community. And we also embrace Reverend Elizabeth and Travis and Linda and Don Jr., the whole Raleigh family and extended family, for we just hold them in the egg of light and the love of spirit right now. And we know that the divine is wrapping them up in a huge love bubble of comfort and peace. And so as we move through this love service, we allow our open arms to embrace and receive Daniel's message. And as we go forth, we look for the possibilities as we go out into nature, as we look to another person we come in contact with. Though we may not see their smile behind the mask, we can see it in their eyes. It is God in form looking back at us. And so I am just so grateful for this day. I'm so grateful for just everybody watching right now. And I am grateful for all the blessings in my life. And I know if it's true for me, I know it's true for each and every individual. We open our hearts and open our arms and take that out into the world. And just like a ripple on a pond, we spread love. We spread that love. It is the nature of God, and it is the true nature of who we are. And so with that, I can just release this prayer into that loving expression of the law where I know it's already being made manifest. And together, we can just release and let go and let God. And we can claim our good by saying, and so it is.
And so it is.
Man, it hurts sometimes to live this life. Some days I'd rather run and hide. Maybe then the pain would hide as well. Maybe then I could protect myself. But who's gonna win? Is that really living? Oh, I wish I didn't know that the answer is no. Nobody would win. 'Cause I could close my eyes and pretend I don't see. I could close my mind and pretend that I'm free. But my soul knows the truth. Life means stepping back in. I'm gonna open my heart again. Man, it hurts sometimes when I've done wrong. Some days I'd rather just move on. Maybe then I wouldn't have to cry. Maybe then I could protect my pride. But who's gonna win? Is that really loving? Oh, I wish I didn't know. The answer is no. Nobody would win. 'Cause I could close my eyes and pretend I don't see. I could close my mind and pretend that I'm free. But my soul knows the truth. Life means stepping back in. I'm gonna open my heart. I could close my eyes and pretend I don't see. I could close my mind and pretend that I'm free. But my soul knows the truth, that life means stepping back in. I'm gonna open my heart again. Open my heart again. No, no, no.
So beautiful, Daniel. Thank you. And we're so ready to receive your message.
Thanks. In October, right around Halloween, we adopted a dog, the little Nahmod family. That's me, my wife, and our 9-year-old boy. And our dog had died just a few months earlier. Our dog named Gigi, a little puppy. Gigi, we'd only had her for a year and a half, and she ate something that she shouldn't have. She got poisoned, and we did our best to save her, and she died. And it was really sad and especially traumatic for
our boy, Jude, for whom Gigi really was his best friend. And of course, most of Jude's normal life was shut down already. No school, no play dates, no parks, no museums, no birthday parties. It was a thin time for a 9-year-old to be a normal kid. And then his puppy died, and it was just really devastating for us, especially to watch how much it hurt him. And then came Halloween time, and we went to a dog adoption event, and we saw a dog that looked just like Gigi, but a little chunkier, a boy instead of a girl, a couple inches taller. We all looked at each other and thought, "Is that Gigi's cousin or something?" And we went up to this dog, this fluffy, chunky dog. Well, actually, he wasn't chunky at all. He was actually very skinny, but he looked big compared to Gigi. And we all just, as I like to put it, we just felt a yes, all three of us. And we walked right up to the woman who we took this little dog for a quick stroll, and we came back and told the woman in charge of the adoption agency that we'd like to take that dog home. And we brought home that dog. 1 week later, Jude named the dog Lucky, meaning we were lucky to find him, right? So we get home, very excited, and the first day that Lucky is in our house, Lucky escapes 3 times, flees down the street, gets out. We don't have great fencing in our yard. Everything's kind of needing renovation. We bought a fixer-upper. We just moved in here a year and a little bit ago, just before the pandemic, a couple months before the pandemic. So it wasn't hard for Lucky the dog to break out. And Lucky the dog broke out, ran down the street, and I went chasing after him. And that was the first time, and I managed to corral him. And the second time he ran away, I didn't succeed in corralling him until about a half a dozen neighbors strolling down the street, driving down the street, coming down their driveways, all had to help circle this poor little puppy who just was determined to flee. And we brought Lucky back inside. And then at night, we said goodnight to Lucky. And as I was brushing my teeth, I'm usually, I'm just basically always up later than my wife and boy. And I heard sort of something crashing into our little feeble little gate outside. And I went running outside, and sure enough, the gate was open, and Lucky was gone in the dark. And Lucky is a pitch black dog. And I got in my car, and I drove around the neighborhood calling out. Of course, he didn't know his name anyway, but I kept calling out and looking everywhere I could. And I live in Orange County in a hilly area, and there are coyotes. And I thought, please let me find the dog. Please, please, please let me find that poor puppy. And I did not. And I went back inside that night thinking that I was going to have to wake up in the morning and tell my boy that his new buddy had run away and was gone. Now, that being said, he had a little chip implanted in his tummy, the poor thing, and he was still wearing the collar from the adoption agency. And the first thing in the morning, we called the adoption agency, and she said, "Oh, don't worry. They always run. Early on, they're scared. They don't know where they are. They try to get back to whatever familiar place they can remember. Someone will find him." And sure enough, an hour later, someone over the hill, a good mile or two away, called the agency and got in touch with us that our dog had been wandering around in the front yard of his house, and he had hooked him with a piece of tuna or something. And I went to get Lucky, and I made a decision on my way that I was not going to be angry at the dog, that it was not going to be a moment of discipline or correction or frustration. It was going to be simply a moment of welcoming him into my car. And that's how I handled it. I'm not saying I'm normally that level or calm about such things, but I'd made that decision. And I brought Lucky home, and he has never run away again. But those first few days, we noticed not only that did he run 3 times on that first day, but he also wouldn't eat food that we put out for him until we had left the room and he could sneak out and get it. See, we had been told that this little puppy had lived on the streets in Arizona, homeless, most likely since it was born, and had never known anyone, had never had a home, and had never been able to trust anyone. And we watched this dog sneak out into the kitchen to eat a few bites of the kibble and take a few sips of water when we weren't looking. And we thought, okay, we're going to give this little dog some time. And he is going to, we hope, gradually understand that here with the Nahmods, he's safe. That here, that soft couch, he can go ahead and lay on it, right? That here in the corner of the kitchen, there will always be fresh water and food. And over the next few weeks, we watched his little hardened heart soften. We watched his suspicion diminish. And we watched him gain trust until now, most of the time, he's either sleeping like this or he's leaning into us until we can't ignore him, until we bend down, and then he flips over so we can rub his belly or scratch his chin. Or he's just licking every inch of Jude's face. And the two of them are best buddies. And as I like to refer to this bumper sticker that I saw on a car a long time ago with a picture of a dog, and it said, "Who rescued whom?" And Lucky the dog rescued Jude. His mood lightened, and he had a best friend again. And it's been very special. But I think of Lucky as a real a symbol, an avatar of the meaning of arms open wide, of a heart open, of living open. He was showing us in that perfect, simple way that dogs do, showing us what it means to not trust, and then showing us what it means to gain trust, to open back up again. And it reminded me of a boy named Alfonso that I knew, who had been in the foster care system and who had never known a man. His father had never met him. His mother had been in prison and had been then deported. And I got to know Alfonso through a volunteer program that actually is always worth mentioning and promoting. It's called CASA, Court Appointed Special Advocates, where I became a friend for Alfonso in the system, an adult who got to know him, who took him out for a burger, who went to his hearings with the social workers and the judges and so on, and took his phone calls and answered his questions and kept him a little company. And it was a very special experience and very painful experience. Why was it painful? Because Alfonso, like Lucky, had learned the opposite of trust. His fear of all good, his distrust of all kindness, it showed up in the most heartbreaking ways. He would be offered a program to live on a college campus with other teens for a few days, and the night before he would run. He'd be put into a beautiful home with a great family, and they'd say there's only one rule: no smoking. And he'd go into the home, and that night he'd light up a cigarette, whatever he could do to sabotage the good that was coming to him. And it was simply because he didn't believe that it was his. He didn't believe that it would stick around. I was
Okay, so it looks like Daniel's frozen up just for a moment. Daniel, if you can hear me, it looks like you're back now.
Yeah, here I am.
There we
Anyway,
go.
okay.
Okay, we're good. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. So it was an ongoing struggle for me to always remember, like with Lucky, not comparing Alfonso to a dog, but like with Lucky, I had to remember this was a kid who needed to learn that he could open his arms and his heart again. It was a very slow and gradual process, and I can't tell you that I succeeded. I did my best. Then I think about us so-called grown-ups, kids with bigger skin. And the question becomes, how wide open is my heart? How wide open are your arms? How open are we to good, to kindness? How willing are we to trust? What lessons have we learned that have toughened us and insulated us and suppressed our capacity to receive and enjoy and bask in and celebrate and laugh and even cry? Some of us develop some pretty thick skin. The question is, do we need it? Well, I used to dream out loud. Just being human made me proud. Now I throw my hands up in the air from disillusion and despair. My heart has taken such abuse. I've used my hurt as my excuse. It's like my hope has disappeared behind the shadow of my fear. And I wonder why they say that aging thins the skin. Then I remember I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in, yeah. It's time to live again. I am unjaded. What if you have to fall to grow? I've fallen hard enough to know. So what if life's not fair? Does it mean that I'm too cool to care? And I wonder when I stopped believing right will win. Then I remember I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in. Yeah, it's time to live again, unjaded. What kind of life would I live with my heart closed? What kind of man would I be? What kind of world will I be creating if I can love with all of me? If I just love with all of me. I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything on my own. I can right one wrong, I can sing one song. I don't need to do everything. I am only one, but I am not alone. I don't need to do everything, no. I can right one wrong or sing one song. I don't need to do everything. It's time to dive back in. Yeah, it's time to dive back in. Oh, it's time to live again. I am unjaded.
Unjaded. I sometimes say that the bad luck for all of us is that we all have to be raised by people. So that means that we are going to be misunderstood. We are going to see moods. And I'm laughing, but of course it's not funny. Sometimes childhood is very, very hard. For Alfonso, of course, very hard, but even for those of us with parents at home, it can be very, very hard for all sorts of reasons. We are raised by humans. We are the descendants of humans. Our parents are raised by humans. It is it's a bumpy road to be alive. It is. We're bags of bones and muscles, and we are spectacularly amazing physical things, but we are, as Shakespeare said, born astride a grave. We come out of the ground, the clock is ticking, we return to the ground. Everything we're built of ends. Everything in the world ends, but we know it as we grow older. We know it. We know there's a clock ticking, and we know we have our bumps and bruises. We know we have our broken bones and our broken hearts. We know it. Do we carry those things with us? Of course we do. But what is life like when we keep our skin thick, when we keep our guard up, when we keep our heart closed, when we keep our arms like this? What's life like when we do this? What are we open to receive? What are you open to receive? Hear me, by the way. I'm a complete hypocrite if I'm going to tell you that I walk around, hey, everybody, give me a hug. I am not that guy. I'm not. And it's not just because I'm a child of two lawyers, an economics major, a descendant of Holocaust survivors, but it's partly that. I was raised in a family steeped in grief. Okay? Anti-Semitism, grief, poverty, struggle. I was raised to have thick skin. So I'm not lecturing. I'm just talking. What's it like to allow yourself to feel truly happy? And it's not a different question to ask, what's it like to allow yourself to feel truly sad? There's a concept in the music industry and recording technology called compression. I didn't know about it until I learned more about how to make records over the years. Compression is to compress a sound is to, if you have from very loud to very soft. Okay, when you're talking in a room with somebody, very loud is impactful and impressive, or at an opera concert where they're just singing straight into the room. But on a recording, you can't really handle giant swings of volume because you wouldn't be able to hear the very quiet parts, or the very loud parts would crush you, distort, right? Be too loud. So recording technology has evolved to compress sound, which means squashes the highs, raises the lows. So instead of very quiet sections and very loud sections, you end up with everything more or less in the middle as it goes. One of the most dramatic examples, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, is the song I Will Always Love You, the Whitney Houston song. And right? It opens with just Whitney Houston singing, if I should stay. That's just her one voice. But if you're listening to the radio, it's a big, loud presence of her voice. Fast forward 3.5 minutes, and you have that giant boom, and the big belting note, and the orchestra, David Foster, genius, arranged and produced. And it is a massive sound, but on the radio, or even on the record, it's actually no louder than her first few whispered notes. That's compression. Very effective in recording technology. How effective is compression in your life or in mine? We tend to, what they would say in music, apply pretty heavy compression to the signals, to the feelings in our lives. We do. We tend to learn from the mistakes. I once heard a minister say,
If you walk across a field and a snake bites you, you don't blame the snake, but you don't walk across the field again. And I think a lot of us have crossed a lot of fields, myself included, a lot of fields off of the map. Oh no, I'm not doing that. Oh no, I'm not asking her out. Oh no, I'm not. Oh no, I'm not applying for that kind of job. I'll just get it rejected. Oh no, that really hurts. I'm definitely not bungee jumping. I've broken a leg before. I know how much it hurt. Oh no, I'm not going out now. That's dangerous. I was mugged once and that street looks dark, right? We learn. And is learning important? Of course it is. Applying experience? Of course it is. Don't cross the same field where a snake bit you before. But to look at any field from that point on as potentially dangerous is to eliminate walks in beautiful meadows, visits to national parks, picnics with your family, metaphorically, of course, and sometimes literally. How insulated are you and me? How insulated are we from really feeling good? It requires open arms to be fully alive. Sorry, it does. It does. We can walk around guarded, and you and I, maybe you're not the person who walks around guarded, and maybe I'm not, or most of the time, let's say, but we know people who are. What's it like? What's it like to hug them? Do they even let you hug them? What's it like to share a feeling with them? What's it like to celebrate an event with them? We know. We know what it's like when somebody is willing to celebrate versus somebody who's like, it's very nice. It's very nice. Thank you. And by the way, I do that all the time too. I just did it just before the service. When Santa Claus told me that I've made a big difference with my Facebook shows. And I said, no, thanks. That's me tamping down gratitude. That's me rejecting love. Is that the pathway to the deepest kind of life? I think the answer is self-evident. Now, do I blame myself? Or would I suggest that you hold yourself responsible in some negative way for learning from pains and bumps and bruises and disappointments and deceptions? Of course not. But the question on the table before I sing one last song, the question on the table for all of us right now, I mean, we have collectively, as a species, worldwide, done this for a year. A solid year, where there was a little boy on the street who loves Jude. Got to know Jude very briefly before the pandemic. We just moved in. This little boy loved Jude, a year younger than Jude. Saw Jude on the street maybe 6 months ago. He started running to give Jude a hug. And I don't blame anybody for this. His mother said, red light, red light. And he stopped because it was scary or dangerous to have actual contact. Okay, so that we have all internalized, young and old, men and women, sick and well, rich and poor, healthy and, right, Western Europe to Indonesia to Australia to Germany to Peru. We have all learned, danger, danger, too close. Can't trust, can't feel safe, right? A mask is a literal thing, but it's also a metaphorical thing. And we have all been wearing masks now for a year, shut in for a year. So I'll ask this series of questions, and then I'll sing you one more song. After the pandemic, will you dare to hug again? In America, after the electoral madness, will you vote again? Will you believe in the system again? After a divorce, will you fall in love again? After a betrayal, will you trust again? After food poisoning, will you eat your favorite food again or go to your favorite restaurant again? After your heart is broken, will you ask someone on a date again? After you get laid off, will you apply for a job again? Will you or won't you? Dr. King, I remember his, I'm paraphrasing badly, his famous phrase about hatred or holding a grudge, right, is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. Well, we get to choose whether our arms open wide. We get to choose. We get to choose whether to trust again, open up again. Lucky, the dog, got to choose. And we watched him open up. And it broke our hearts in the most beautiful way. We understood what we were seeing. This little dog was learning that he had a home and that he could be loved, that he could love, that he could invest in his new family. I think he had something to teach us. Certainly had something to teach me. So, this week, I'm going to dare myself, and I dare you. Catch myself, catch yourself, pushing away affection, kindness, generosity, happiness, sadness, pushing it away. Let's catch ourselves pushing it away, keeping it at arm's length, doing this to make sure it never gets in here. Take a breath. Remember that we're okay. We've always been and will always be okay. And let it in. That is real living, as far as I've ever seen, observed, or experienced. That's being alive. I'm through asking where I'm going. I've been asking all my life. I've grown tired of all this wondering when everything seems to turn out right. So when my mind needs something to do, wants to know the future, I whisper this: I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. So here goes nothing. I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. No, but I'm not afraid this time. Some say it's crazy. Some say naive to close my eyes and take the leap. But I know better, 'cause I believe even in the dark my soul can see. So when my mind plays its usual games, oh, my answer is always the same. Yeah. Here goes nothing. I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up,
knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. Here goes nothing. I'm taking a chance. I'm opening up, knowing that I'm in good hands. And here goes everything. It's all on the line. Oh, but I'm not afraid this time. No, I'm not afraid this time, 'cause I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way. I'm okay. I've always been, and I'll always be that way.
Wow. Wow, Daniel, that was so amazing. And there was no compression on that song. That was
Correct. No, it's sometimes a problem.
but that's okay, because we really get to feel, your power. And that was so wonderful. I don't know about everyone else, but I really needed to hear what you had to say today. And I'm taking a sigh of relief and opening my chest and opening up. So thank you so much. Really,
Welcome.
really appreciate it. And we'll have you back here in just a moment. All right. Thank you, everyone. So now it is time for our gifts, tithes, and offerings. And so we have an affirmation that I have printed, and we'll put it up here on the screen. And you can donate either through the giving button here on Facebook, or you could do the PayPal donation if you like. So if you'll just think about your gift and repeat after me. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
I send it forth to heal and bless and prosper.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It is evidence of my faith and my belief.
It does great work in the world.
It does great work in the world.
And it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And it returns to me multiplied abundantly.
And so it is.
So it is.
Woo! Okay. So now I'll do our benediction. So won't you know with me that you are never alone, that God is where you are right now and always. And all that we ever need do is to turn within. It is here we will find we are guided, sustained, directed, and inspired by a source that knows only good. So joyously, let us make use of these gifts in all that we think, in all that we say, and in all that we do. So if you will please repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It is this thing called life.
It is this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my pocketbook.
Life is in my pocketbook.
Life's in my relationships.
Life is in my relationships.
I think it.
I think it.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I believe it.
I believe it.
I express it.
I express it.
I accept it.
I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is
just
not.
the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.
Woo! And thank you, Daniel.
You guys, that Travis did that last time, and it's so goofy and funny, and it makes me smile. That's 2 times in a row. I've never seen that in any service, and it just is very, very funny. I think
I guess that's one of the things that makes us unique here at.
it's really great. It really is. It's very. It's so yeah. There's a lightheartedness to. Just last time, there's a lightheartedness.
Yeah.
To your group, I can feel it. And maybe I'm imagining it, but I don't think I'm imagining it. There's a lightheartedness to it.
I don't think you're imagining it, and just to wrap this around, and that lightheartedness. I think it's within all of us, but let's give a shout out to Reverend Elizabeth Raleigh.
Right.
She brings a lightheartedness, and that smile of hers is definitely, if you've ever met Reverend Elizabeth's father, Don, that award-winning smile was handed to her from him. And so we are grateful to Don for doing
There's a
that,
legacy.
because it touches all of our hearts. It really does. And so we're grateful. So let's see. We are going to go over to Zoom. Daniel's going to join us so we can all connect a little bit. And I'm excited for that. I've put that here. Let me also put the link in the comments. And Daniel, you want to have a little reprise of something fun to take us out?
Sure. You know what? Let's go back to the opening.
Okay, great.
And I do want to invite you all watching to join me. I don't know, Gina, you might have already mentioned it, but I want to invite everybody to. I've been on a Facebook Live kick since exactly 1 year ago yesterday, March 20th, 2020. I did my first Facebook Live concert ever. And I've done 170 of them since.
Wow. So 170
Facebook Live shows of all kinds.
Tour from your home on Facebook
That's right.
Live.
That's right. 170 morning meditations and discussions of the Tao and full-length workshops and all kinds of things, and especially concerts. And so anybody who's interested in hearing some more music, they're all intended as a gift to whoever wants to receive them. Monday nights at 7 o'clock California time. I've been doing now, I think, for 26 weeks or so, since August, every Monday night at 7 o'clock.
Okay, and that's at Daniel Nahmod USA. They should friend you there. Is that how they do it?
That's right, Daniel Nahmod USA on Facebook. And if you click on the videos page, you know, you'd enjoy also last night's show. Last night was my 1 year anniversary concert. And I did kind of a greatest hits, most requested. And it's been an amazing experience. The gifts my family has received, the support, the kindness. So I wanted to just say an hour-long thank you through songs. So you might, if you haven't seen any of these shows, go to Daniel Nahmod USA, click on videos, and watch last night's anniversary show. It was a nice show, I think.
Thank you so much, Daniel. We'll definitely do that. All right.
All right, here we go. So back to this. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. One more time. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.